Okay, welcome to another episode of Charlie's Desk, Blindfold Woodworking Edition. On the desk from left to right, sort of scattered about messily, we have a black and red metal and plastic bar clamp, a tan tool roll, which I will unfold, and some blocks of wood, a little T-square, a drill, a box of drill bits, and the project that I was working on last time, which was turning like a coat rack thing that you hang on the wall, which two pegs fell off, into just a smaller one that only has two. So I cut it in half, and that was my first video about non-visual woodworking, just how to sort of measure and mark, and we went over using a braille or tactile ruler, and then using different marking methods. And I used a nail, but you could also use an awl. So today we're going to do some measuring too, use some different tools, and then since I cut the coat rack thing in half, I now have to drill a hole for the screws to go through for when I want to hang it up. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to grab a seat and put on my blindfold, and then, I don't know, hopefully do this. Let me check the camera one more time. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay. All right, so first things first, I think in terms of advice, the best advice I can give is just be organized. And tool roll is a great thing for that. So it's just if you were going to sew one and make it for yourself, it's a rectangular piece of fabric, and then you fold it over on both sides, so you create kind of pockets, and then you put little ties on either end, and then you can stick your tools in the pockets, and then roll it up to keep them safe. Now, I have a lot of tools in here, like woodworking tools, and some of them are very sharp, especially, well, a lot of them are very sharp. The chisels aren't particularly sharp. So, you can deal with sharp stuff without seeing things. That's fine, just be careful. So the thing that I need is this awl that I made out of like a dowel and a nail, because having just the nail wasn't good enough. Ooh, I also want to use a file, so I just felt that. Let me take that out. I'm looking for this little awl thing I made. I think this is it. Yeah, so it's just a piece of dowel. I drilled a little hole, and I glued a nail in, just so I can mark with a little bit more force. So yeah, that's all I need, the file and the awl. So then I'm going to fold this thing back up, and I'm going to do it carefully because I don't want any of the sharp chisels to fall out. They're very sharp. That's their job. Okay, and then it has ties on either end, so when your tools are rolled up, you just use the ties, tie at the bottom. Now I'm going to move this clamp along to the middle of the table and move this over to the side. Alright, so now I have my C-clamp and my awl. I'm not going to use the file right now. I have my blocks of random wood. Up at my 12 o'clock, at my 1 o'clock I have my drill, my 2 o'clock I have my drill bits. At 3 o'clock I have the project that I'm working on. And the one that, so I messed up a little bit last night. Last time I did this, it wasn't last night, the cut was slightly diagonal, so, and not perfectly even, but that's okay. So I want to use the longer piece. I'm just going to line both up. I want to use the longer piece. Yep, use the shorter, put it to the side. And then, so I have it in front of me now on the desk, so in the middle of the clock. And you should be able to see 3 holes, and we need 4. So the first one on the left is where you would put the screw to go into the wall. and it's like a countersunk thing. So when you put the screw in, you wouldn't really see it. So I'll need to use 2 drill bits. And then there's 2 holes where you put the dowels in. And then since I cut it in half, there's no hole on the other side. So that's where I need to do that. So I'm going to use the drill to do that first, and then to clean up my mistake. That's the reason why it's okay to make mistakes. So it's usually a way to clean up your mistakes. So I'm going to start out by marking the place to drill the hole. So I'm going to feel the relationship between these first 2, where the screw goes and where the dowel goes. So, and I'm not going to use a ruler. I'm just going to kind of roll my thumb in between them and feel where the edges are. The distance between these 2 things, the edges of these circles at least, is about the distance of my thumb. So then I'm going to bring my thumb over here. I'm going to roll it a little bit like I was. I'm going to roll it and then moving it over. And that should be pressing down with the awl at the other edge of my thumb on the other side. That should be the edge of where it should be. And then if the diameter of this little circle where the screw goes is about the size of the tip of my pinky, then I'm just going to move over this dot that I made over here just a tiny bit more, like the width of a pinky. So then I'm going to press it. I'm pressing hard so I can feel it. Okay. Now I'm going to move my finger over. I feel the first dot. Oh, I don't really feel the first dot. I just feel the second dot. Okay. Does that feel right to me? Yes, it does. Is it in the middle? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. So if I find out whether it's in the middle or not, then I'll proceed. I think it's a little bit short of the middle based on what I'm feeling with my fingers. So I'm going to find the dot. I'm just going to move it up the tiniest bit. Press in again. Okay, so I think I've marked where I want to drill. And, just like last time, I didn't want to saw through my table. I also don't want to drill through my table. I've had this table for a long time. So I'm going to use the clamp to clamp the piece of wood so the end of it is sticking out and I don't drill through it. Also, I forgot to mention, there's a potted plant on the table. It is basil, basilica. Okay, so, there's the old piece of the project. Get that out of the way. I don't want that to be confused with anything. You can just shift down to the edge. Find the potted plant. I mean, the thing about wearing, a blindfold or just like not having vision to use when you're doing this stuff is it's not like any of the stuff that you're using disappears. It's all still there. You just can't see it. I'm bring this over to the edge of the table this time. And I'm leaving so there's like a part of it, like a handle that you screw to tighten, and I'm leaving that below the table so it doesn't get in the way of me holding the drill. But I'm having trouble making it catch. It's too on the edge here. So the reason why I'm taking so much time to make sure it's clamped well is because that's really important. If I start using the drill to push down on this to create that hole and it's not clamped, it's going to cause a problem. Okay, so it's clamped. I can feel 2 places where I marked. So now I'm ready to get set up with my drill. I have my awl. It's in the center of the table now. Okay. I have a box of drill bits. As I said before, I want to drill 2 holes actually. I want to drill 1 pilot hole all the way through. That's what the screw is going to go through. And then I want to drill something that's partially the way through sort of the countersink so that the head of the screw is hidden. So now I'm holding this little Makita drill. It's very light and pleasant. And I just insert the drill bit into the top of oh gosh, what's it called? Someone will tell me. But then I just gently press the trigger and it tightens it for me. Okay, so it feels in there. doesn't feel like it's, you know, off to the side, it's centered. So now is the moment of truth, okay? Power tools. All right, so feels clamped, but like I said, I didn't say it in this video, but it's always good to have two. I only have one, so I'm going to make sure that my elbow is kind of acting as the second clamp. I am bringing the drill to the marks and feeling them. All right, here goes nothing. So I'm going to try and keep this as upright as possible because I want to drill straight through. There's a level on this that you can see, but I can't see everything. So start slow. Yep, feels good. Go through. Oh, yes, it did. Okay. So that seems to have gone well. I can feel some sawdust. I feel a hole on the bottom and the top. I'm a little worried that I went slightly at an angle. Whatever. We'll work on it. Okay, so that was one drill. Now I gotta do the countersink drill. So I gotta take out this drill bit, and then very neatly put it back into the case so I don't get it lost. All right. Ow. Okay, yeah, they're sharp. Don't you know, apply force to sharp things, Charles. All right, struggling with that, but. Okay, now I want to go up to the fourth biggest size. Yeah, okay. And do the same trick. I have to loosen, I want to say it's called the chuck, but that feels like I just wanted to do that. Charlie, okay. Press the trigger to tighten the larger drill bit in there. Shift myself over to the edge. Okay. Where I have everything nice and clamped. So same process. Except this time I want to be really careful not to drill all the way through. So I'm going to find the hole that I drilled, try and hold the drill level, and then just, I don't know, go down like just deep enough so you don't see the head of the screw. It's going into the wall. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Cool. Too much sauce. So I'm not pushing it hard. I'm just letting it go. Yeah, that's not that deep yet. Okay. So I can't undrill this. Actually, it's a good thing I have two pieces. Kind of hard to feel how deep the hole is. Actually, that's why I'll get my awl. So smart. Okay, I found the awl, find the hole. Oh yeah, no, I can. For it to be countersunk, I need to go a little bit deeper. Okay, just a little bit though, so I'll find it again. Okay, that's plenty. Alright, cool. And yeah, that might be it for, well, I'll clean it, because that's part of it. Okay, so I unscrew the chuck, which holds the drill bit on the drill. I'm trying to find the little lugs. It has my drill bits. They're supposed to like fold up. It opens, it's a clamshell situation, and they're supposed to kind of fold up and array themselves, but I haven't practiced this non-visually, and so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting it to go back in and like fold down. So I might not be able to just do that elegantly. But I guess that's the point, guys, right? Not everybody's easy. There's something obstructing. So I'll just make sure I push that out of the way. To use a little square. Alright. I guess the thing I'll learn is I won't drop this clamp. So I'm going to loosen it. Okay. So I guess what I wanted to achieve was to have now 4 holes, 2 for the dowels and 2 for the screws. And I have that, and the relationship between them feels approximately the same. think I made it a little bit wider on the side that I made, and then I countersunk it, and then in another video I'll show how to use like a file, which is a nice, it's not a power tool, it's a good beginner tool, and I'm gonna use the file, which I'm using right now, to remove some material and make it look a little bit nicer. So this was power tools, right? You're using some of the skills of just like measuring and marking. You don't even have to use a ruler. Sometimes you can just use your hands, but you still want to be careful, clamping and securing things. And then drill. It's not super duper intimidating. And just like with any sharp stuff, just be careful. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean you can't do it. Anyways, thank you for watching Charlie's Desk, and I'll catch you later. Bye.